This morning's caffeine choice. So cute. Little reindeer, are you kidding me? Welcome back to the vlog, besties. Happy Vlogmas Day 6. I can't believe this actually means that we're like halfway through Vlogmas and Christmas is also next week. That is crazy to me. Whenever I started Vlogmas, I knew the challenge for me was going to be filming, editing, and posting all in the same day because I also work retail and I also want to have a balance of like getting it up at a good time for you guys and not at like 2 o'clock in the morning, because also I would very much be like exhausted if I was just like editing all night, all hours of the night. That being said, I feel like what I'm trying to say is Vlogmas progresses more and more of my like creative mind is just like expanding and like flowing, which is so great because at the beginning of Vlogmas I said how I wanted to create more than like I consumed. I feel like at the beginning of the year I had that like mindset of I wanted to do new things. I wanted to create more. And then I feel like I was good all the way from January till the spring. I kind of got a bit of my creativity back in summer, and then it kind of just like died out in fall and winter. And I'm like, what better way to spend these days of Vlogmas and the next few days of this year diving into my creative spirit so I don't walk into 2026 being like, oh, I want to be more creative more this year. Like, no, I'm gonna start now. Anyways, I was up at 5 o'clock this morning and it was dreadful. It was dreadful, but however, I worked the morning shift, so that meant that I got off at 11:30. Now in my head, it's like I have the whole day to myself. In today's vlog, we're going to be dedicating it to simply a day of just doing things that feed my creative spirit. I'm gonna watch some movies, gonna do some crafting, do some reading. As yesterday I got into, it was my first cozy little Christmas read of my winter TBR, and I have 4 books that I need to read. So we're definitely going to be adding some reading into the rotation of things today. Also, I did go to Michael's after work because I was looking for ribbon for like a little project that I want to make. I want to make another ribbon garland. I have one right here and it's just pink, but I want to add another one in with more festive colors. I'm also going to leave it in my room year round, so like it's just going to add like some more color, and I just love them. They look so cute. But I walked out because they were like $13.99 for like a thing of ribbon. So I was like, and I have a ton of ribbon in my house. So first start of getting our little creative flow going, because of course I have to make a fun little drink. So today we're gonna make a matcha. I asked for matcha on my Christmas wish list. My mom got me this one from TJ Maxx. It's monk fruit sweetened, but that doesn't really matter because I'm gonna add my own sweetener. So, but I feel like this is perfect because I tried matcha in the spring and I want to perfect my recipe. I want to find like a good matcha. So I don't think this is like ceremonial grade or anything like that. I know a lot of people say that's what's best to use, but I feel like I want to work on like perfecting my matcha, and then I'll get like a better quality one. That in here. I also don't have like the traditional matcha whisking set or anything, so we're using an actual whisk. It'll work. I think I'm gonna do like a basic, something I know I'll like a brown sugar and vanilla matcha. Some of this Trader Joe's bourbon vanilla bean syrup. Just do. In you go. Probably I'm gonna mix it up, but it looks kind of fabulous. Definitely not like as green, but it looks good. It's really good. I need to like stir up the vanilla because I can taste that on the bottom. Okay, the next matcha that I make, I'm definitely gonna do less vanilla because, well, like she went crazy with the vanilla. Anyways, I'm so excited to sit down and read because yesterday I had like limited time to read and now I have like more full time to just dive in. And I did not want to put this book down yesterday, but a girl has to clock in, a girl has to work. So, but I have all the time to read today. Also, I'm going to set the mood. I'm going to play a little playlist moment. I showed a little glimpse of my Spotify playlist yesterday. One thing about me is I will be down to talk like literally like any media, like books, movies, music. And I can't believe I've never like talked about like my music, my Spotify like playlist making obsession. Like I just love music, and I've never shown my playlist because whenever it comes down creativity, one of the things that make me feel so creative is music. I love being able to like express my like creative mind through songs and through making little playlists about every situation ever. Okay, this is my most recent playlist. I did in fact call it Lives Were Changed, and it's filled with a bunch of songs that were quite literally life-changing and altering to me, okay? The only genre is great music, because like literally there's so many different artists, songs, different genres all throughout this playlist. Actually, this is my latest playlist that I made, and it's called State of Cozy because it's just a bunch of songs that I think make me feel so cozy and like want to bundle up and read or something. And it's just a mix of like some really cozy artists on here. And then I also have some of my favorite pieces from like movie soundtracks. I'm gonna play that while I read today. To page 108, and dare I say the plot is plotting. So while they're being live streamed, she's asked a question of how well she knows B. She's like, oh, I haven't known him well at all, and she basically just spills. She's like, okay, but whenever I'm with him, everything just kind of fades away, and he's like beautiful, and literally like practically everyone knows that she has a crush on this man, and it was live too. And so, like, now they've gotten to the gala, and his friend sent a text message of being like, oh, like, someone has eyes for you, and it's the video of her on live, like, gushing over him. I could solely forget that I had other things I wanted to do tonight and completely get lost in reading. I ended on chapter 12. Anyways, we're gonna get onto our little bow garland chain. I don't know. Anyways, I made one of these before, and what I did is I would make the bow and then glue it and then make a bow and then glue it, and I'm not going to put myself through that torture. Today I'm actually going to make all my bows and then just glue it together. I have this huge pink ribbon moment. I have some green, and this almost feels like a velvet bow, which I've been really wanting. This almost feels like velvet ribbon. It is. Which I've been wanting velvet ribbon for a long time. I could just never find it, or I feel like it's super expensive. And then some red. I'm gonna get started on making my bows, and I'm also gonna play Christmas with the Cranks during the bow making because I never finished it. I never finished it the other day. I just ripped it. My first little bow! The struggle that it took, at last our bows are made, so I am going to assemble everything. I have my hot glue gun, I have my bows. Let's assemble a bow garland. I am very her in all her glory. I managed to assemble this without burning a single finger in the process, which is in fact a win for me when using a hot glue gun. Okay, after moving it around literally like 10 times because it wouldn't fit completely like center around my TV like I wanted it to above my TV. Also, I have the horrendous overhead light on just to show you guys this because it's dark outside and I literally have not turned my overhead light on like I don't even know how long it's been, but look how gorgeous she looks. I finally gave up on trying to center it around above the TV and just was like, why don't I go a bit higher? And I think I kind of love it there. Okay, most importantly, last up on my activities of doing things to spark my creative mind is prioritizing physical media over doom scrolling. So we're gonna watch some of my favorite movies. I've been just in like a moment. This will happen every once in a while where like I'll get caught off guard and all of a sudden I like want to watch this movie and that movie and this one and then this TV show, and usually for me just about all I ever watch is like the same thing over and over. So for me, it's always I want to rewatch the same few like 5 movies. And that's what my head has been like lately. Like I want to rewatch all of my favorite movies. I'm going to start today. I chose 2. So I'm going to get started on my like annual favorite movie rewatching. This one's going to be The Sun Is Also Star. It's not a coincidence that both of these movies are literally romance side. I'm literally just a romance girl. It's gonna be The Sun Is Also a Star, which takes place in New York. We love. It takes place and it follows the characters Daniel and Natasha. And the storyline is Natasha doesn't believe in love. She kind of believes that's kind of like a hyperfixation, like an illusion. She doesn't believe in love. So the challenge is she meets Daniel and he challenges her to see if they can fall in love in one day. And I'm not gonna like spoil it from there, but I think the movie is so cool because it just shows kind of like they were at the end of the day like they were meant to meet. There were several different chances and like occasions where like things tied up to where at the end of the day, regardless, they were gonna meet each other that day because they were meant to be together. It was such a cool thing to like watch that unfold. The next movie that I'm gonna be watch is Everything Everything. I never get sick of either of these movies and I think they're highly underrated, but especially Everything Everything. I'm more in the fact that movies aren't like this anymore. Like I will see edits all of the time of like the movies in like the 2010s because it was just like a different vibe. Literally amazing. It follows the story of Maddie and Ollie. And Maddie was diagnosed with SCID when she was super duper young. So she's kind of been like in the house, like she was homeschooled. She has an in-house nurse and she's never been outside, or all she's ever known is just her house. And Ollie moves in next door and they kind of like start talking and they fall in love, and it kind of like opens up a portal for her of wanting to explore life and wanting to know more just about everything, which is literally why it's called Everything Everything, because she just wants to experience everything. And the movie is genuinely so beautiful. So